All right. Pub quiz. What can you determine from this?
Um, Either he's defending into turn 3 or he's making the dive in on turn 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What else can you determine from this?
That his line's going to be slow.
Mm-hmm. And that's important because
Well, now you got to slow down too.
DBU.
Well, you can't hit that inner apex if he's right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
yeah,
can get a better angle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you have options. This is purposely a tricky one, right? You have a lot of choices which you can make, whether you go or don't go. And depending on what you decide to do, your tactics may vary. I purposely gave you guys a tricky one, right? The front car can manage a lot here, and depending on your level of experience, you'll be able to maneuver with it, right? There's a lot. I purposely wrote a lot here to just show you how many things that could happen, right? Yep, that's right. The lead car is off the racing line, and you are on the racing line. The lead car is going to also have to brake earlier to make the turn because he's off the racing line, which means he'll have to turn more, which means his entry will suck, right? So if he goes in at full speed, you have an opportunity to attack him on the exit. However, that driver might be skilled. He might not be dumb. And he may slow down on the exit to stop you if you are too close to him. So you might want to give more space. Let the car in front turn first and then attack him. Because once he's turned, he's committed. And get him on the exit. So this is one of those reasons why you don't want to just tailgate a guy, especially when he's offline like this, because you have several options, and by just tailgating him, you've taken them all away. So this is a bit of a trick question.
I would also say that I think in the rookies, most people try to dive through the outside and just go around the outside. That's a possibility, but it's a really low chance possibility. It's really, really, really hard to overtake on the outside in a GT car because they are very heavy and they don't have that much downforce. I mean, they have some, but they are not like F1 cars that can do that. So it is possible if you can juke him into thinking you're trying to do the over and under kind of exit side overtake, and he overslows on the apex. But you have options as the overtaking car as well, and you have to think like not just lock on to one option, but you have to like think which one is the high probability option.
Correct.
Maybe you tried something the previous lap. Probably don't try the same thing again.
Yep, 100%. The other reason I brought this one up is because you don't want to constantly be attacking the guy in front and forcing him to make expensive moves all the time. So one of the big reasons that you guys struggle to pass is you are too eager to attack all the time. And so it gives information to the car in front that, hey, my continued efforts do not work, and increases my confidence that it doesn't matter what you do, you're not passing me because you continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. And also, at some point, the lead car has decided that we have lost so much time to the cars ahead of us, I no longer care, and I am actively trying to screw you until the race is over. So if you are really, really aggressive with me in the very, very beginning and the leaders get away, I will make it my life's mission to slow you down as much as humanly possible. Because you've screwed me by constantly darting everywhere and not actually like planning a clear, effective overtake. You're just kind of like nipping at my heels. And now the leaders are gone now. So there's punishment for that, right? That's also why some people are really hard to pass, because you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result when the result is the same. So the lead car is just like, well, I've seen him do the same move 5 times. It doesn't work from that far back. So as long as he doesn't get closer, it doesn't matter what he does, and I'm just going to keep turning, right? So learning how to information gather helps you, right? If I see a guy do this to me more than once, I'm like, let me back off a little bit. Let me wait. Because I need to lull him into a false sense of security that he can make a mistake somewhere else or be slow somewhere else where I can attack him where he's vulnerable, like on an exit of a corner where all we're doing is accelerating. It doesn't matter what he does, right? I don't really always want to attack on the entries, because on the entries, I don't have a lot of space. I don't have a lot of room. I've really got to be committed early on. On the exits, I've got tons of room. I have a whole straightaway and a whole upcoming turn to go, and we're just putting our foot down. So it's easier, right? But You can't do any of those things if you don't learn how to information gather. And fortunately, these are cars, not planes. So you only really have 2 axes you have to deal with, right? You have left and right, forward and back. There's a little bit of speed in there, but other than that, it's not too complicated. So by practicing, you have to do a lot of reps. You have to do a lot of reps. You got to screw it up a lot, right? So you have to be comfortable with failure, right? But part of the failure is information gathering. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. Look down at the lap time when you try it. That was really expensive. I tried it this one time and I lost 7/10. Is it worth losing 7/10 to the car in front? I don't know. The guy's really fast. He'll get away. You see where I'm going with all that? Right? You need to be able to build a pyramid rather than just constantly throwing stones, right? In order to actually have good races. Okay. And then we talked about this, but you see how much room there is, right? Like, there's plenty of time for both cars to decide to do a ton of different things, right? So we have options. And so I don't want to just commit to one strategy all the time, every time, because I can change my strategy depending on when this guy turns, and I have an opportunity to show up at the other side of the corner. Well, gotta be aware of those things. All right, big thing, TLDR, because I know we're talking a lot. Your guys' timing mostly sucks. Largely the reason why you guys suck at passing people, right? Most of you guys focus on trying to beat the other car to turning, rather than letting them turn and then capitalizing on their mistake. So 9 times out of 10, if you see that a car is on a bad line somewhere, let them fuck it up on their own. Right? You would never drive this line by yourself, because that's slow. Right? If you were doing a hot lap, you'd be like, oh, damn, that line's terrible. So why do I want to be with him? I don't, because that line is terrible. And I don't want to just run all the way into the brake zone and get my entry taken away because I'm too close to a front moving car, because I don't get any of the benefit of the cool exit I was going to have because I was too impatient. So now we're stuck here some more. If you let this car ahead just turn, physics takes over, carries him up the track. And when the track goes right and he is going left, he is what we call...
Say that again?
If the track goes right and he is moving left, what's that called?
There.
It's called easy to pass. He's dead in the water. He's going the wrong way. Right? We're going to the right. He's going to the left. That's good for me. But if I'm right behind him and we're going the same direction, that's bad for me. Right? It's not a super complex concept, but most of you guys aren't paying attention to the timing. You're not paying attention to the positioning. You're not looking. Right? You just drive into the corner at full speed, hit the brakes, turn the wheel, and look after you've done it all. And then we're like, I didn't pass him. Oh. Right? But there's a ton of information before on the straightaway leading up that would have been like, is this wise? What can he do to me? What can I do to him? Right? That if you pay more attention and start to notice the patterns, you can almost forecast where a lot of these battles are going to go. Right? Especially when you're dealing with multiple cars. It's a fun thing to do. It's almost freaky. You'll follow multiple cars, and you'll see one car offline, and you'll be like, hold on, wait for that car to turn. That car affects this car affects that car affects this. Oh, look, a space for me. Yay! And then you just drive up, right? And everyone's like, oh, damn, you totally sent it. I didn't send it. I just waited for everyone to drive terrible, and then I just drove in the open space they gave me. I didn't do anything. They did everything. Right? So you need to be able to identify those things. If like my opponent's driving poorly, let them finish doing that, right? And then as you start to move your way up the skill tree, then of course these margins get finer, and what defines poor driving is different, right? So like, in a high level battle, you would never see 2 cars like this, because the car behind would be like, you're dumb. Right? You would just wait for him to turn, he would just drive right by him and be like, God, he does not know how to drive turn 3, and then just drive away, right? So pay attention to that stuff.